All right. Hello. Happy Sunday. And welcome to the recap. I am your host, Sexy Harlow 125. And if you are new here, welcome. Stick around. Hope you stay, subscribe, all that stuff. Um, if you're new here, like I said, welcome. And what we do over here is I come through and recap the week before questions of the day. I come through, I let y'all know what my answers are. Hey, I come through and let y'all know what my answers are and how I feel about them. The reason why you're seeing this screen right now, right here, is because we're doing Brain Tumor Awareness Month as well as Lupus Awareness Month. So, I have been doing some real research on this brain tumor thing, and to be honest, I should have been doing this before because my mother died of brain cancer. So I am learning, and it never hurts to learn. Never does. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a short synopsis of what I did this previous week. Um I did some shopping. Yeah, I went to Target. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I went to Target. And this time I only had to get 1 dozen of eggs because I have a dozen in there already that wasn't touched. So I went to Target and I got quite a few things. Um I'm trying to be more responsible and stock up on my canned goods. Hey, Sonia J, welcome and happy Sunday. I'm trying to be more responsible and get up on them canned goods. I do like frozen vegetables better. Okay, but in this era that we are in, we need canned vegetables. All right. We need them. We most certainly do. So I have quite a few back there. I don't like peas in the can. This is weird. I don't like peas in the can, but I like frozen peas. And it's basically the same pea, I guess, So, okay, so I went to Target. I also went to Food Bazaar. Um, and I got a couple of things. Me and the wife went together, and it turns out that us getting, yeah, it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with it. Um, the things I'm thankful that we have 2 carts. I'm really thankful for that. So, from what we brought, a few meats, some vegetables, some fish, some fruit. So it turns out what I brought, we could split between the carts, and it wasn't so heavy on one person. So we did that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the Target where I live, there is not much of a dollar spot. Not like if I was to go to the Bronx, to the Target in the Bronx, they have a nice dollar spot where you can get items between $1 and $5. The one I was looking at where I live looked real sparse. Okay. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Why is it that I can go to another borough and get better things? But I guess that's how it is. That's kind of how it's always been. But it used to be where I could go to one Target in the Bronx and get one thing and go to another Target in the Bronx. They would have the same thing. And then I could, rack up if I really liked it. You know what I'm saying? But in any instance, I did that those 2 days. And then, we stocked up on our water. We got our water. And I have been on grandma duty. I was just relieved about 2 hours ago from grandma duty. Okay. The wife took the grandson to the park and then took him home. So I'm no longer on grandma duty. Okay. But before he got here, I try to do my best to make sure that the house is clean. Not that my house isn't always clean, but sometimes you got to go through and mop those floors. I just mopped my floors like a week and a half ago, right? So I re-mopped them, except I did every single floor in this house. And then I got my sanitizer and I sprayed all the knobs in the house and cleaned sinks, wiped down walls. I did it all. And I'm paying for that right now. I'm paying for that right now. Okay. I'm sincerely paying for that. So I've been resting. I rested yesterday a little bit, although I had to um put something up on my other channel because I couldn't do it the day I was supposed to because I was doing other things, you know what I'm saying, cleaning and all that stuff. So, yeah, I'll be mopping these floors again probably next week or in the next 9 days or so because I don't know where the hell this pollen is coming from. Hold on, please. Hold on. I'm sorry about that. I'm always going to answer the phone. You know, she just hit me on WhatsApp. I'm always going to answer when she calls me. So please excuse that interruption. And I told her before I went live that I was going live, but you know how that is. Anyway, um, she just dropped the grandson off. So, usually what I do is I can't remember which way I did it. If I did the um brain cancer awareness and the lupus awareness first, or I did the recap first. I can't remember. And that was just last week. I tell you. So what I'm going to do is, since the recap is kind of short, maybe I should do the awareness first. Ciao. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the awareness first, and then we'll get into the recap. Okay, let me move some things over because I got to make room. Make room, let them work. Make room, let them work. Ow, no. I'm just clowning on today. Okay. Yeah, that's good. So, I'm going to do the brain cancer, brain tumor / cancer first. And there are a few various topics here under managing your symptoms. And that I felt was very important. Okay, there is 10. I'm not going to do that many. Let me see. Okay. I'm going to do body pain first. And it just so happened that I have this on my tablet and I didn't have to write it down. I mean, I guess I'm old school. I just write everything down, child. Shopping list, all that. So it says body pain. What is body pain? Pain is an unpleasant feeling in your body that causes physical discomfort. Everyone experiences and expresses pain differently. Pain can be caused by a brain or spine tumor, cancer treatment, or medications used to treat side effects. Pain can suppress the immune system, increase the time it takes your body to heal, interfere with sleep, and affect your mood. Ooh, child. Localized pain can range. Localized pain can range from discomfort to an intense ache in a muscle or joint located in a specific part of your body, such as your face, arms, legs, or feet. Radiating pain is a sharp shooting pain, stabbing, burning, or electrical sensation that can travel down your neck, arm, back, buttock, or leg. This is a lot. There are ways to track your pain. You would ask, when tracking your pain, include the location of the pain. Where is the pain located? Does it hurt in one place or many places? Yes. Type of pain. What words would you use to describe your pain? For example, burning, sharp, stabbing, tingling, loss of function, etc. Do you also feel numbness and or tingling? The timing of your pain. Now, what I would do if I was able, and this was going on with me, which I have done in the past for my lupus, I would write it down so I would not forget. I would write down what kind of pain it is, where it's located, the time of day, and, the date. But sometimes when you're in pain, that's the last thing you're thinking about. Okay, so it says timing of pain. When does the pain start? How long does it last? Is the pain constant or does it come and go? Are there certain body positions or movements that cause the pain, such as bending over or turning? Right. Related symptoms. What makes the pain worse, if anything? What makes the pain better, if anything? Are you feeling weak in the affected area? Okay. Now, this goes in depth. Okay. Self-care activities to manage your pain. Explore self-care activities that can help you cope with and improve your pain, including diet, exercise, and sleep. It says avoid alcohol if you're taking medications for pain. Everyone should know that. Oh, girl. My wife has that too. And I have had that pain, and I'm going to tell you, I would rather have a toothache. Okay? I would rather have a toothache than have that. Oh, I mean, that is terrible. Okay, it says avoid alcohol if you're taking medications for pain. Everyone should know that. Eat plenty of fruits and vegetables and drink plenty of water to stay hydrated. Some pain medications can cause constipation, and this is why the doctor tells you to drink water. Talk with your doctor or care team about physical therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, music therapy, guided imaginary or massage therapy, guided imagery or massage therapy. These may be helpful additions to your pain management program. When to report body pain. Discuss any concerns with your doctor. Share symptoms you logged. This is just what I said just a few minutes ago. Discuss any concerns with your doctor. Share the symptoms you logged and your self-care activities. So logged means written down, right? Written down, typed in, that's what logged means. So you can have that information. Ask your doctor when and how to report your symptoms. When and how? Oh my goodness. You should be, in this case right here, you should be able to call your doctor anytime. I mean, if you stub your pinky toe, that's something different. But if it's related to what's going on with you right now, then, if it's related to this, then you should be able to call at any time. Okay. Ask your doctor when and how to report your symptoms. Tell your doctor if you are having trouble doing tasks that you used to be able to do, especially getting dressed, standing up, sitting down, getting in and out of your bed, or getting in and out of your car. Report if you develop new pain. Your pain gets worse. Your pain is severe, greater than a 7 on a scale of 0 to 10, or your pain does not improve with your self-care activities. Ask your doctor what you should do in case of emergency and when your pain should be reported immediately. These symptoms may include sudden worsening pain, sudden loss of strength or sensation, difficulty walking, or difficulty controlling when you go to the bathroom. So that right there that I just read was just one, and that's body pain. Okay. Let's do, because there's 10 here. Okay. So I'm going to do another one, but I'm going to keep this page because we have this week and then we have next week. Okay. And that will be the end of both of these awareness months. Brain Tumor Awareness Month and Lupus Awareness Month. But these things continue on. Okay? They continue on. They just go. So the next one I'm going to do is I want to find one that's important. Well, they're all important, but let's do, the next one is cognitive symptoms. So let's go ahead and do that one. Cognitive symptoms. What are cognitive symptoms? Remember, we're talking about brain cancer / tumor awareness month. So this is related to that. What are cognitive symptoms? Cognition is the mental process of learning, understanding, communicating. Cognitive symptoms can be caused by a brain or spine tumor, cancer treatment, side effects of medications, sleep issues, or other health conditions. Cognitive symptoms can make you feel exhausted, overwhelmed, stressed, anxious, depressed, and sad. Examples of cognitive symptoms include problems remembering, difficulty speaking, difficulty understanding, and problems concentrating. Okay, now we have ways to manage cognitive symptoms. Let me see. There are ways you can manage and cope with your cognitive symptoms. For example, have a caregiver help you if you are unable to do things on your own. Using the My Story app or a journal, My Story, MYSTORI app, or a journal. Record the cognitive symptoms you are experiencing each day and what you are doing to mitigate. What are you doing? What you are doing to mitigate them? Oh, hold on, y'all. It just never fails. If you are having memory problems, if you are having problems with memory, you can make a daily to-do list, use planners and reminder notes, keep items in the same place. Try memory techniques such as making up a rhyme to help you remember things. Ensure you are getting enough rest, enough sleep to feel rested. If you are having difficulty speaking, talk to your healthcare provider about seeing a speech therapist. Try to control your breathing as you speak. Write down and rehearse what you want to say before speaking to better organize your thoughts. If you are having difficulty understanding, you can ask others to speak slowly and in short sentences. Focus on other forms of communication, such as hand and body gestures, to supply context clues in a conversation. If you are having problems concentrating, you can prioritize tasks and do the most important ones first, ideally when you are most rested. Focus on doing one thing at a time. Try to stay calm and not stressed. Ensure you are getting enough sleep to feel rested. Avoid drinking caffeine before bed. If you are having difficulty seeing, you can use a ruler to read. Okay, I have to stop there because I'm thinking using a ruler to read, I guess, would be putting the ruler under the sentence that you are reading and then going down to the next one and down to the next one. But there's also audio, you know what I mean? So you can listen to someone tell you a story, but sometimes people like to hold the physical book, so I get it. Okay, going on. Increase the font size on your cell phone and other electronic devices. Wear your glasses. If you are in search of additional ways to manage your symptoms, you can explore self care activities that can help you cope with and improve your cognitive symptoms, including diet, exercise, and sleep. Ask your healthcare provider about treating depression, anxiety, fatigue, pain, and sleep disturbance. Consider adding yoga, meditation, or mindfulness practices into your lifestyle. Reduce stress to improve issues that you may have with remembering, speaking, and concentrating. Ask your healthcare provider about possible referrals to neuropsychology, speech therapy, psychotherapy, and occupational therapy. Ensure you're taking your medication for concentration or brain swelling exactly as prescribed. Remember that medications and tumor treatments have side effects that can cause you to have problems thinking, speaking, or seeing clearly. Okay. As in the previous part, when to report cognitive symptoms. Discuss any concerns you have with your doctor, share the symptoms you logged, and your self care activities. Ask your doctor. Ask your doctor when and how to report your symptoms. Report if your cognitive symptoms get worse. If your symptoms are severe or your symptoms do not improve with your self care activities, ask your doctor what you should do in case of emergency and when your cognitive symptoms should be reported immediately. These symptoms may include sudden changes occurring over minutes or hours in your ability to remember, speak, understand, pay attention, or see. So there we have it. That is two ways, to manage and take care of those two things. Now, this is really interesting to me because, like I said, my mother had brain cancer, and that is what she passed away from. So I'm like, it just happened so quick that, I could only rely on what the doctors was telling me. Let's say that. Okay, we'll come back to that on Sunday next week. We'll go back to that very same thing and we'll, do two more in the list. Now, moving on to the lupus, because it is Lupus Awareness Month. This is something interesting that I thought I could read. Does lupus affect different groups in different ways? This says anyone can get lupus, but lupus doesn't affect all groups of people the same way. And that's the truth. Thank you so much, Sonia J. That's the truth. It doesn't affect all groups of people in the same way. To make sure that everyone with lupus has access to the best available care, it's important to study how lupus affects different groups of people. Lupus is 2 to 3 times more prevalent among African American, Hispanic / Latina, Asian American, Native American, Alaska Native, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander women more than among white women. Do I have to read that again? Recent research indicates that lupus affects 1 in 537 young African American women. Whew. The groundbreaking Lumina, Lumina, that stands for Lupus in Minority Populations, Nature versus Nurture. Study reported that African American lupus patients are more likely to have organ system involvement, more active disease, and lower levels of social support compared with white lupus patients. Trust me, I don't like reading this, but it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on to this. Who do I really want to read this one? I'm gonna go ahead and read it because I feel like people need to know. Can people die of lupus? It is believed that between 10 to 15% of people with lupus will die prematurely due to complications of lupus. A Lupus Foundation of America funded study found that overall lupus was among the top 20 leading causes of death in females ages 5 to 64 among Black and Hispanic women. Lupus among Black and Hispanic women, lupus has ranked 5th. In the 15 to 20-year-olds, it's 6th. In the 25 to 34-year-old, it's 8th and 9th. In the 35 to 44 years age groups, after excluding the 3 common external injury causes, let me read that again. In the 35 to 44 years age groups, after excluding the 3 common external injury causes of death from analysis. This is a lot. This is a lot. Okay, how long does it take to get diagnosed with lupus? There are many challenges to reaching a lupus diagnosis. Lupus is known as the great imitator, and this is true because I've heard so many people say, oh, my doctor thought I had lupus, but it was something else. Or my doctor thought I had something else and it was lupus. You know, it can go either way. So, how long does lupus take to? How long does it take to get diagnosed with lupus? There are many challenges to reaching a lupus diagnosis. Lupus is known as the great imitator because its symptoms mimic many other diseases. Lupus symptoms can also be unclear, can come and go, and can change. This is another thing. You can go into remission. We all know there's no cure for lupus, but you can go into remission for years. And then all of a sudden, bam, here you go again. Now you got to you should never take your armor off when you're fighting this disease or, any disease. You should never take your armor off and feel safe enough to lay it down and try to go on and have a normal life. No, a lupus fight is forever. Okay, you can go into remission and you can stay in remission for the rest of your life, or you could go into remission 1 year and then the next year your ass is grass and lupus is the lawnmower. Or you can never go into remission and always have to fight. And what they'll do is, this is the reason why I do my infusions. They want to put the system, your immune system, to sleep, so to speak. They want to decrease the activity. This is why they have these infusions, Saphnelo and Benlysta, because they want to decrease the activity so that you will be able to go on to do the things you need to do in your normal life. As normal, air quotes, as normal as you can get. Okay? On average, it takes nearly 6 years for people with lupus to be diagnosed from the time they first notice their lupus symptoms. Now, that wasn't true for me. See, just like I read in the beginning, everybody is different. That wasn't true for me. I got my diagnosis within like a month and a half. And they let me know my diagnosis on my father's birthday. So a month and a half before I went in, they did all the tests, and they called me on that day to let me know that I needed to come in because the doctor thinks I have lupus. I mean, she didn't want to tell me at first. I'm like, well, I ain't coming. You know what I'm saying? She was like, Miss Sample, you have to come in. You have to come in. We need to see you. I was like, all right. She told me. So a majority, 63% of people with lupus surveyed report being incorrectly diagnosed, and that can happen. You know how many people I've heard of that have been misdiagnosed or told that it was all in their mind. I've heard so many stories like that. And I said, those doctors need to be fired. Okay. Of those reporting incorrect diagnosis, more than half of them, 55%, report seeing 4 or more different healthcare providers for their lupus symptoms before being accurately diagnosed. And I've heard stories about that as well. Okay. Whoo, child. Okay. Getting into the deep shit. um, hmm. This is the last thing I'm going to read, and then we're going to move on to the recap. What is the state of lupus awareness? While lupus is a widespread disease, awareness of the disease lags behind many other diseases. And what gets me is there are more people with lupus than there are with cancer and AIDS mixed together. It says 63% of Americans surveyed have never heard of lupus or know little or nothing about this disease and its symptoms behind the name, indicating there is significant opportunity and need for continued public education. Over half of the respondents, 61%, believed that it takes 6 months or less for a person to be accurately diagnosed with lupus, significantly underestimating the time it takes to receive an accurate lupus diagnosis. So, those are facts and statistics that is on the lupus.org website. And the other website that I was reading about the brain tumor, that is cancer.gov. So what I will do is after this live is over, I'm going to put those 2 websites in the comment section. And if you would like, you can click to learn more. It's better to be educated now than stupid later. Okay? Whew, had to drink a little water there. All right, let's move on to the recap, which is episode 20. How about that? I never thought I would get here. Episode 20. Yes, ma'am, turkey spam. So, the recap, this is from last week, 5/12/25. 5/14/25, and 5/16/25. So for Monday, the thought was a friend is someone who gives you total freedom and trust to be yourself. Yes, girl, it is a lot to digest, but I would rather know now than not know later. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of people don't want to read. They don't want to educate themselves. They don't want to do it. I didn't know what lupus was, and I had to read up on it. I had to do my own research. I was not out there asking other people, do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? No, I wasn't going to do that. Why would I do that? I was just saying to someone that lupus is yours and yours alone. No one can give it to you, and you can't give it to anyone else. You are hand-picked, and when I say hand-picked, that means it's yours, and you're going to have to deal with it. It's like carrying a bag of bricks everywhere you go. That's what it's like. Hold on, here we go again. Are they coming this way? Seems like it. Hold on. Okay, there is a fire in my area that started maybe 5 minutes before I went live. So the Citizen app alerted me. I looked on the map and I saw the address and I was like, that's that way up the street. So all the fire trucks and everything is going that way in that direction. Yeah, but yeah, it's like carrying a bag of bricks wherever you go. Those bricks are yours. And you can't give them away. You can't give them away. You can't barter with them. None of that. Okay. So getting back to the recap, a friend is someone who gives you total freedom and trust to be yourself. And those are the only type of people I like being around. If you cannot accept me for who I am, then kick rocks. Because I'm not being fake or phony for no one. This is me, accepted or rejected. It's on you. But that's not going to stop me from breathing because I'm going to still be me. Okay? Now, the question for that day was very interesting. No one answered it. What? That part. What do you call your evening meal? Dinner or supper? Dinner or supper? I call it dinner. Dinner is my answer. But my sisters in the southern part of Georgia call it supper. They call it supper. I remember one time I said to my sister, "What are we having for dinner?" And she said, "For supper, we are having." I said, "Okay, what are we having for supper?" You know what I mean? Different places say different things, but it was interesting to me. So that, oh, your mom says supper. Okay, see? Oh my goodness. So we're going to move. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. We're going to move on to Wednesday, which was 5/14/25. The thought for that day was happiness is not something ready made. It comes from your own actions. What you say? As long as we're eating, it's fine with me. I know that's right. um. Okay, so the thought for Wednesday is happiness is not something ready made. It comes from your own actions, and that is true. It's your responsibility to make yourself happy. It's your responsibility. It's no one else's responsibility. I mean, what you gonna do? Sit around and just, yeah, I'll accept that. Exactly. How else are we gonna be happy? I mean, if you think about what makes you happy, right? What do you think about? What are the things that make you happy? Like, okay, shopping makes me happy because that's something I like to do. Crafting makes me happy. That's something I like to do. Now, this might sound weird, but cleaning my house, that makes me happy because when I get finished, it's going to be clean. You know what I mean? What else makes me happy? Going for walks makes me happy. There are a lot of things I can name that make me happy, but I'm going to stop there because we'll be here all night. Okay. Here is Wednesday's question of the day. How open minded are you? How open minded are you? Hmm. I'm open minded. I am to a certain extent. Now, I have my own way of thinking just like everyone else does. So, what you said? Uh, Shopping, reading, and listening to music. Okay, those things make you happy. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm open minded to a point. Now, if I feel strongly about something, you're not going to change my mind. I'm an Aries. So stubborn all the way around the border. I can be. I can be very stubborn at times. However, I'm open-minded enough to listen. I'm open-minded enough to listen and possibly learn something else. That's the way you learn. You listen. You don't talk all the time. You listen so you can learn. So I'm open-minded to a certain extent. It depends on the subject. It depends on what we're talking about. If we're talking about the orange man, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because I don't like that man. Okay? And I'm open-minded, but when it comes to that, I'm closing my doors and windows and I don't want to hear shit. Okay? That's just me. No offense to anyone else. Okay? So now, Friday, 5/16. Friday, 5/16/25. The thought for that day was, and this makes a whole lot of sense, where there is shouting, there is no true knowledge. Think about all the yelling and screaming we done heard in this sector. Okay? What this is saying is, if you yelling and screaming, you're lying. Okay? That's the short of it. But then again, it could be a thing of you are telling the truth, but you're excited, so you're screaming and hollering. You know? Listen, I agree with this. Okay? The question, yeah, wow, exactly. I mean, think about it. Where there is shouting, there is no true knowledge. So, how you gonna learn something? If you're yelling and screaming, how you gonna hear? How you gonna hear to respond if they're yelling and screaming? Child, I just walk away. I'll be like, the hell with this. Okay, the question for that day, and this is another interesting one. Do you carry anything for self-defense when you leave your home? Do you carry anything for self-defense when you leave your home? Yes, I do. I have keys in my purse. I have an ink pen in my purse. Allegedly, officer. Ink pens, and I have pencils, and I said keys. Can't beat them to death with a credit card. But yeah, those are the items that I carry besides the other one to defend myself in case of emergency. Officer, allegedly. Okay. So there we have it. That was the recap episode 20 for the dates of 5/12/25, 5/14/25, and 5/16/25. Whoo, Sonia J, you are just always here. What you say? Hand, knees, and feet. Yes, ma'am. We always have those. We always have those. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. I got keys though. I mean, I haven't been out late by myself in a long time. I mean, like coming home at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. No. What you said? Jack in the trunk. Jack in the trunk. Oh my God. Yes, ma'am. Jack in the trunk. Okay. I mean, listen, you got to do what you got to do, but I have never, I haven't been out late by myself. Coming home, it's always been, me and the wife together. You know, she hit them high and I can hit them low because she's taller than me. So, and I'm short. So you take the high road and I'll take the low road. Now, we'll knock them out. That's just the way it's going to have to be. Allegedly, officer. Monty B says that a lot. Allegedly, officer. I just love me some him. But there is your recap for those dates, and that's number 20. Next week will be episode number 21. I hope you will join me, Sonia J. You are just always here for me all the time, even if it's just you and me. You come over, you sit and you listen, and I truly appreciate you sitting with me while I do the recap, because other than that, I would be like really talking to the air. So I want to thank you for your support. Thank you so much for your support. And we are an hour and 10 minutes in. I think this is the longest recap we have ever done. Yes, ma'am, we can learn from each other. We most certainly can, and that's what this is all about. That is what it is all about, for real, because how else are we going to learn if not from each other? Here we go with the noise again. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on. Yep, they are definitely going that way. All right, Sonia, thank you for joining me, and hopefully I will see you next Sunday. You take great care, be blessed, never stressed, and stay safe always. Enjoy your week and take care. Okay, I know I said that twice, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. So take care, mamas, and I'll see you next week.